What? Who hurt him?
Speeding up the heartbeat, banging in my chest. When you put it on me, you relieve my stress.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Book Blabs. I'm Nat, and I like to blab all things books. If you're new here, welcome. Yeah, I like to yap about books, so I'm glad to have you here. Anyways, for today's video, I am going to be reading my book club books of the month. So this month I'm reading Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood and My Friends by Fredrik Backman. So we are going to be reading those. So currently I'm about halfway through Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. Before I give you my thoughts on it, I'm just going to read the synopsis for you. Bee's theory was right. Forcing a scientist to work with her nemesis triggers explosive results. Like an avenging purple-haired Jedi bringing balance to the mansplained universe, Bee Königswasser lives by a simple code. What would Marie Curie do? If NASA offered Marie her dream neuroengineering project, she would accept without hesitation. Duh. But the mother of modern physics never had to co-lead with Levi Ward. Sure, Levi has soul-piercing eyes, and sure, he caught her in his powerfully corded arms like a romance novel hero when she accidentally damseled in distress on her first day in the lab. But Levi made his feelings towards Bee clear in grad school. Arch enemies work best when employed in their own galaxies far, far away. Now her equipment is missing, the staff ignores her, and Bee finds her floundering career in somewhat of a pickle. Perhaps it's her occipital cortex playing tricks on her, but Bee could swear she can see Levi softening into an ally, backing her plays, devouring her with those eyes. And the possibilities have all her neurons firing. But when it comes time to actually make a move and put her heart on the line, there's only one question that matters. What will Bee Königswasser do? So I did not realize there'd be so many Star Wars references. They both have a favorite movie of The Empire Strikes Back, and so I'm like, okay. So I'm loving it. He's like 6'4", he has black hair and striking green eyes, and she has like piercings, tattoos, colorful hair, and I love it. I'm having a really good time. I'm halfway through right now, and honestly, it's 9:30 p.m. I might finish this book tonight. Who knows? But yeah, Ali Hazelwood is doing a great job about writing women in STEM, and she's like addressing like problems that like women experience in like a male-dominated field, and she's really good at like bringing attention to like real life issues about like opportunities or like underhanded comments or like kind of passive aggressive like sexual comments or like sexual harassment, things like that I think just like really resonate with people. She's also super nerdy, like she does her like her research, and so like I think Bee, our main character, she's a neuroscientist, like she's smart as hell. Like Ali did her research for this, like talking about like the brain and different parts of the brain, and it's just like it's really cool. And then we also have NASA involved, so we're working with like space and astronauts, and it's just like you feel smart because Bee's so smart. And then it's like Levi, she thinks Levi hates her, but clearly like using context clues, Bee is just blind or in denial because clearly this man is head over heels in love with her. So yeah, I am gonna keep reading and I will update you later or when I finish the book. But yeah.
You get me so high. I know you ain't a drug, but you get me so high. You get me so high. You get me so high. I know you ain't a drug, but you get me so high.
Hi guys, it's 11:15 at night. I just finished Love on the Brain. Okay, before I like talk about it, I want to read you this author's note. This is why Ali Hazelwood is one of my favorite authors. Listen. This book is my hate letter to standardized testing. It's also my love letter to neuroscience, Star Wars, women in STEM, friendships that hit rough patches but then try their best to bounce back, research assistants, interdisciplinary scientific collaborations, Elle Woods, shit academics say, mermaids, hummingbird feeders, people who struggle with working out, and cats. But let's focus on the hate part. I remember studying for the GRE about 10 years ago when I was applying for PhD programs and constantly feeling like I was a total idiot, which I probably am, but for other reasons. I also remember being really angry and really frustrated at the amount of money, time, and energy I had to pour into learning how to calculate when exactly 2 trains leaving from 2 stations will meet, especially when I could have used that time to read up on something that was actually relevant to my field. Or to sleep, let's be real. I would have probably just taken a nap. This book is, of course, fictional, but everything Kaylee says about the GRE is true, and tests like the GRE and the SATs are not only very sketchy when it comes to predicting future academic performance, but they traditionally favor people who come from economically advantaged backgrounds. Access to higher education is, as a rule, scarcer for those who aren't traditionally privileged, and standardized testing only contributes to the problem. But in the last few years, there's been a shift, with more and more institutions and graduate programs not requiring these tests for admission, and that's a fantastic step in the right direction. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and remember, if academia ever makes you feel like you're not good or smart enough, it's not you, it's academia. What? So, anyways, after that author's note, I just want to point out, like, this book was so good. Like, it was spicy, yes. Like the problems of like women in STEM, or like the GRE standardized tests, like she talks about problems that are like actually happening, and the fact that this man right here, this nerdy man right here, he is obsessed with her. He's obsessed with her. Like if you want a man who pines for you, Levi Ward. You want a man who would bend over backwards for you, Levi Ward. You want a man who would kill someone for you, Levi Ward. But he's also a genius. He's also 6'4". He's also beautiful. He's got it all. He's sweet. He's vegan. He has cats. He's a cat dad, and so he's loving. He's just so cute. He's a homeowner. Like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna give this book 5 stars. Like, I read it in one night. Like, I literally started this a few hours ago. Anyways, I need to go to bed, but I loved this book. 5 stars. It was really, 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 really good. I love like the rivals or nemesis to lovers, especially since it was all just like assumptions and miscommunication. And then when they're like, they both realize they didn't hate each other, I eat it up every time. I'm so excited to talk about this in the podcast episode with Lorelai.
So high, you get me so high. I know you ain't a drug, but you get me so high. 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 You get me so high.
Hi. I know this isn't part of our regularly scheduled programming, but over the weekend it was Valentine's Day, and Jaden, my boyfriend, hi Jaden, he got me a lot of books, and I just wanted to do a quick little baby haul because I don't know when else I'll get to do this. So yeah, these are all, well, aside from one, these were all gifts from my boyfriend. So I'll start with the special one. I'm on a book buying ban, as I talked about, and so I finally earned my first book that I could buy. So I went to Barnes and I bought Red Rising by Pierce Brown, because literally everyone that I've seen read this book or talk about this book has loved this book. Like, I've not seen one single person not like this book, so I bought it. and I'm really excited. I hope it's as good as everyone says. Yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. Next, my boyfriend's crazy. So he did one book he bought at full price, and I'll show you which one it is. It's Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've been really wanting to read this book, especially since a lot of the book girlies that I love have been giving it 5 stars, like Sarah Crowley, Larry. Both of them really liked this book, and I know it's like anything I read by Taylor Jenkins Reid, I usually really like. Like, I've liked all the books I read so far, so I have really high hopes for this one. I also heard that I think it's the author's note. It's just so cute. So I just want to read it really quick. But this is the author's note of Atmosphere. It says, "Dear reader, one night last summer after my daughter had gotten in bed, I walked outside, looked up at the night sky, and saw Venus in the distance. It was brighter than any star, hanging low just above the trees. My daughter and I had been trying to spot Venus for a few days now. I knew that I should let her fall asleep, but instead I snuck up to her room, opened the door, and whispered, 'Come outside.' When we got to the backyard, I picked her up. She's far too big to be held anymore, but she still lets me do it when she's sleepy. I pointed toward Venus in front of us. 'There it is,' she said. 'I see it.' And for a few moments, I held her in my arms as the two of us just stared up at the night sky, filled with awe. Before writing this novel, I could barely recognize the Big Dipper, but I wanted to make my main character Joan a passionate, excitable astronomer. So I downloaded an app, picked up some books, and began studying the stars. What started as my attempt to create an interesting backdrop for a love story became the beginning of me understanding my place in the world. You see, once you start observing the night sky, you begin to orient yourself in time and space. You learn, for instance, that in the northern hemisphere, if you can spot Orion's belt, it's winter. You can learn to get a general idea of what time it is by where the constellation Cassiopeia is in relation to the star Polaris. My favorite thing I learned? If you can spot the stars Altair, Deneb, and Vega during the summer, you will see that they form a triangle, and that triangle always points south. If you are ever lost, you can find those 3 and know which way to go. Something about that always seems to cure whatever ails me when my daughter and I walk out into the night. I know some of it is simply the joy of spending time with her and perhaps the thrill of new knowledge, but I think it is also the relief I feel that those stars are immovable. Nothing you or I could do will ever alter them. They are so much bigger than us, and they will not change within our lifetime. We can succeed or fail, get it right or get it wrong, love and lose the ones we love, and still the summer triangle will point south. And in that way, I know everything will be some type of okay, as impossible as that can seem sometimes. I hope very much that you enjoy this story, but I hope even more that Joan Goodwin can convince you to go outside tonight after the stars have come out and look up. I hope with all my heart Joan can convince you to be open to wonder." That's just the author's note at the beginning, and I already have chills, and I already kind of want to cry. Anyways, I'm really excited to read this one. Next book he got me, so we went to Book Off, and he's like, "Girl, go crazy. I love you. Happy Valentine's Day." And I was like, this man, I'm waiting for him to propose. I'm gonna marry this man. But the first book he got me is actually an Owl Crate that someone donated, and I was shocked because I was like, I want to subscribe to Owl Crate so bad. But it's called Castle of the Cursed by Romina Garber, and since it's an Owl Crate, it has like a super special art, and I saw that it was about a vampire. It's signed, and it has like a letter from her because it's an Owl Crate, so it's like a super special edition, and I was like, that's so cool. And so it's like beautiful. Like, I can't get over it. Anyways, yeah. In the dust jacket. It's so cool. It's beautiful. I'm so excited to read it. It's about vampires. That's all I know is I saw. It's like a mystery and it has a vampire in it. So I was like, you're beautiful and you have vampires. You're coming home with me. So he got me that one. The other Owl Crate that we were able to find, I actually already own a copy of this book, but I'm going to give him my other one, and I'm going to take this one. But it's the Owl Crate version of Immortal Dark by Tyja Skirma. It's, well, so first of all, I think it comes with page overlays, because this, like, isn't that so cool? I don't know if you can see it, but it came with like a little envelope for page overlays, and I was like, that's sick. And then I just wanted to show you like how beautiful this is. So I've been wanting to read this book for a while. It's just been on my TBR, but then I found this really beautiful version of it, and so I'm gonna give him my like regular copy with his consent, of course. And he gifted me this one, so I'm super excited to read this one. And it's beautiful. So, and then lastly, he got me 2 series. So he's obsessed with Neal Shusterman, and he was able to find a complete box set of the Unwind series for like, I think it was like $19 for all of these. And so he got really excited and he bought it for me because I read the first book of his other series, Scythe, and I really liked it, but I'm also religious, so he thinks that I would really like this one because I think they use like the Bible and they cherry pick the Bible to kind of justify unwinding people. So he really wants to like pick my brain as like, I have my bachelor's degree in English literature and I'm a Christian. So he really wants to like pick my brain on this. So I'm really excited. And then lastly, 2 are paperback, 2 are hardcover, but we found the full and complete series of Hush Hush. Which I've never read, but I know a lot of people like talked about it. It was like quintessential for them, so I was like, I guess it's never too late, we'll see. So yeah, it was Hush Hush, Crescendo, I don't know if this is the right order, Silence, and then Finale. But yeah, a lot of books. Thank you, Jaden. I love you so much, and I'm so excited because I'm on a book buying ban, so I can't buy books, but he bought all these books for me because he knows that I love new books. So thank you, babe. Okay, back to the regular scheduled programming. Bye. Happy Saturday, friends. It's Saturday. I just said that. I have a lot to do. I have a lot of homework to do. I have a lot of chores and stuff to get done, but next weekend I'm going to Arizona to see my sister with my other sisters, so it's gonna be like a girls' weekend, so I'm excited, but I have a lot to do to prep for that. I'm gonna be trying to listen to the audiobook for my other book called My Friends by Fredrik Backman, and update you as I go, because I do want to get this book read because the end of the month is coming and I want to be prepared for our next book club meeting in the beginning of March. So let's go ahead and just get reading. Okay, update you later. Bye. Please excuse the motorcycles and dirt bikes outside if you can hear it. The neighbors across the cul-de-sac like to do like riding on the weekends, so you'll hear them pretty much all day, especially since it was raining the past few days. Now that it's sunny again, I feel like they're going to be very active. Anyways, I figured that I should probably read the synopsis of Fredrik Backman's My Friends for you, and then we can dive into the book. So it says, just so this is also in frame, the world is full of miracles, but none greater than how far a young person can be carried by someone else's belief in them. Most people don't even notice them. 3 tiny figures sitting at the end of a long pier in the corner of one of the most famous paintings in the world. Most people think it's just a depiction of a wide expanse of sea. But Louisa, soon to be 18 years old and aspiring artist herself, knows otherwise. She is determined to find out the story behind these 3 enigmatic figures. More than 2 decades before, in a distant seaside town, a group of teenagers find refuge from their bruising home lives by spending long summer days on an abandoned pier telling silly jokes, sharing secrets, and committing small acts of rebellion. These lost souls find in each other a reason to get up every morning, a reason to dream, a reason to love. Out of that summer emerges a transcendent work of art, a painting that, after a chance encounter in an alleyway, will unexpectedly be placed into Louisa's care. She embarks on a surprise-filled cross-country journey to discover how the painting came to be and to decide what to do with it. The closer she gets to the painting's birthplace, the more anxious she becomes about what she'll find. Louisa's complicated life is proof that happy endings are sometimes possible, but they don't always take the form we expect them to. Fredrik Backman's signature charm, humor, and attention to the poignant details of everyday life are on full display in this funny, moving novel. His most heartfelt and personal tale yet, My Friends, is a stunning testament to the transformative, timeless power of art and friendship. So, let's get reading for real now. Okay, bye.
You got me so turned up. It's still gotta be so high. Weed always on my mind. Now he always on my mind. Don't you?
I have to read you this line. So I am making progress in My Friends. And just listen to this. This is a banger of a line. The artist was 14 years old and knew nothing about art, but one day he would be grown up and celebrated around the world and would realize that he still only knew the same simple things. Art is a moment. Art is being a reason. Art is coping with being alive for one more week. What? Oh my gosh, so... I'm literally not even like 20% into this book and I'm already getting emotional. I already know it's going to be a banger. I think I'm going to cry. I think this will be the book that's going to make me cry. So I'm going to keep listening along as I'm working remotely and hope that nothing traumatic happens while I'm on the clock. But I will keep reading and I have therapy tonight, so maybe I'll talk about it with her. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, bye. I have another update. This is on page 114, but it's so funny. Louisa interrupts him amiably enough with a far more important question. Where does the poop go? Excuse me? The poop people poop on the train. Where does it go? Ted clears his throat the way Ted clears his throat the way the most uncomfortable man in the world would clear his throat. I assume there's some sort of container beneath the train. What happens if that gets full then? Do they just empty the poop onto the tracks or what? He looks almost shocked by the idea. I don't know, maybe? She thinks for a long time before asking very seriously. What if it's really windy outside? So if you were walking next to the rails, you'd get a poop tornado right in your face? I've never thought about it, he confesses. How can you not have thought about it? It's all I can think now. He sighs so deeply that it's a miracle the fields of wheat outside the train window don't get flattened. Maybe we could have a little silence break for a while. She shrugs her shoulders and mutters, okay, sure. Like, I want to bawl my eyes out because it's so heavy, but then Fredrik Backman puts like this type of dialogue and I'm like, oh, I'm having a really good time. Hi, I have like a really sad line to read to you. I know I was just laughing, but like Fredrik Backman is so good at making you want to cry and be in pain and then laugh in the next moment. Like, he just goes back and forth. So I just want to read this. No one can explain why some 14-year-olds want to die. Nature gains nothing from unhappy children, yet they are still walking around everywhere, without the words to describe their anxiety. Because how could you even begin to explain such a feeling to someone who has been happy and secure all their life? Should you say it's like a monster sleeping heavily on your lungs, so that every breath feels like you're drowning? That it's a voice in your head screaming that everything about you is a mistake? Forget it. No one will understand. The voice in our heads hisses to us. Then it repeats the same lies that all broken children have to listen to. There's something wrong with you. No one else feels the way you do. People can't fly. I'm just like, what? Who hurt him? Hi, good evening. I just came home from work. I had dinner, sorry. And I just want to talk about that I finished My Friends. I have so much to say, and I also have no words at the same time. 5 stars. I'm just going to start off with that. 5 stars. This book, look how much I tabbed it just because I want to talk about this stuff like in the book club. His prose is so beautiful and so brilliant, but he juxtaposes it so perfectly with moments of ridiculousness and comedic relief, and I feel like he just perfectly captures life in that sense, because life isn't just all bad. There are little tidbits of joy or laughter or ridiculousness or joking in the bad, and it's just all these sprinkles, because it's like life truly is just an accumulation of moments. And can you truly have an unhappy ending when along the way and along that journey you had all of these good moments sprinkled in? And it's just so amazing. My friend Lexi, hey Lexi, she texted me, I'm gonna include this photo. She texted me this photo and she's like, is this how you see the painting? And I said, like, kind of. In my head it's a little different, but she talked about how she thought the pier would be bigger almost, but then it's mostly the sea. And I texted her back with my English major brain, and I talked about the brilliance of this painting, because this is kind of how I envisioned it, because you have this big ocean and it's called the One of the Sea, you know, and so people who are outsiders, they overlook that small detail of the pier, and they overlook those small children that are painted into it. And I feel like that's on purpose, because as an outsider, the world overlooks these kids, you know, they're just, you know, in the background, they're on the side, they're invisible, they see the sea. But people who understand them are one of them. Louisa is one of them, because she not only acknowledges that they're there, but she truly sees them and knows them. And so, like, to the rest of the world they're small, but to each other they're so big. And I just feel like it's I don't know, this book was so beautiful. It was so good. I did not expect to like it this much. It's beautiful, it's brilliant, it's so good. And it's like, I laughed, I cried, I don't even know. Let me see if I can find some more bangers for you, because you guys, I can't get over it. Like, I cannot believe how much I loved this book. I don't know. I tapped a lot, and I don't want to spoil stuff for you. Here's a moment. It's art that helps me cope, because art is a fragile magic, just like love, and that's humanity's only defense against death. That we create and paint and dance and fall in love, that's our rebellion against eternity. Everything beautiful is a shield. Vincent van Gogh wrote, I always think that the best way to know God is to love many things. It's cool that we happened at all, Louisa whispers. Something like that. The mother smiles. Just like, how can you take a book about a painting and friendship and expand it into the meaning of art, the meaning of life, the meaning of everything? And so, I don't know, it's so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Please go read this book. I know it's only February, but this might be one of my favorite reads of the year. We'll find out. My heart. I love this book. Samantha Haynes, if you're watching this, I love you. Thank you for picking this book for book club. You're brilliant. Mwah, mwah. So, anyways, that's enough of my yapping. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Please let me know if you've read Love on the Brain or My Friends. If so, what did you think of them based on how much I loved both of these books? Because I think I rated them both 5 stars for different reasons, but they're both bangers within their own genres. Do you have any recommendations for me? Also, comment down below if you have any other video ideas. Like, what do you want to see me blab about? But yeah. Thank you so much, you guys. I will see you next week in my next video. I love you. Please comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.
This nigga got pounds of it.